As you know, there are different files, different types of files. In this case, this is a Photoshop file. As you can see at the top, it's written .psd. That means this is a Photoshop document. A Photoshop document allows you to have different layers. You see on the right. So I call those files working files. But if you have, I'm going to save it for now. Command S or Control S on a PC. So once you are finished, you are done with your composition, you have a lot of layers on the right, you want to save it for the web because you can save it for printing or for web or whatever, but in this case, my picture is in RGB color mode. And this is important. When you create a picture for the web, it has to be in RGB color mode. So this is perfect. I'm ready to save it for the web. So there's a way to do that. I'm going to show it to you. So you choose File. After that, you choose Export. As you can see here, there's a Save for Web option. So this is the way to do that. File, Export, Save for Web. Now, in here, you have a preview of the picture. And on the right side, you have different options there. You can choose GIF, which has just a limited number of colors. You can choose PNG. PNG is pretty interesting, especially if you have, for example, a logo without a background. You can save it as a PNG. You're going to keep the transparency. So the PNG file is really interesting for this type of picture. Again, a logo type without a background, and you want to keep the transparency. But in our case, we don't need it. We're going to choose JPEG. Now, you have different qualities. Most of the time I choose 100 because I don't want it to show that it is a JPEG file. So if I drop the quality, you might see it. I'm going to zoom a bit on it. Look what's happening here. You see those squares? It's horrible. It shows that it is a JPEG. It's terrible. But the JPEG has always compression, always. But if it's low, it shows. But if it's top quality, your eyes might not even notice it. So if your file is quite small to begin with, you better choose 100 for quality. But it depends, again, of the final goal of this picture. But now, if you can put it 100%, it's way much better. Now, at the bottom, you see the size of it, 56.6 kbps, right? So this is really small, so there's no need to put it lower than that. So you have the number of pixels, the width, and the height. You can modify it if you have to. Let's say you have a very large picture, you want to change it, you want to change the size, depending on the requirements you have for a specific picture, you can change it here. But in our case, there's no need to change that. So JPEG maximum. It's pretty small, so it's good. I'm going to click Save. Now the next step, of course, is to choose the proper folder to save it. In my case, I have a specific folder here. I have a links folder here. So it keeps the same name, as you can see, my picture, but the extension is different. It's .jpg, right? So that's it for saving a picture for the web.